Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Lee the Evil Wizard. Welcome. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at an updated version of an IR loader. Today, we're taking a look at Pulse 2. So let's check this out. Take a look at Pulse 2. Now this is done in association with Lancaster Audio, as the original one was, but the updated version has been done in association with Aurora DSP. Cool. I like the guys at Aurora. Anyway, this has been in the making for a little while. I know Lancaster was teasing an update to this. Quite a while ago. Anyway, we've eventually got it, so let's dive down into Studio One and let's take a look at it. So, get me goggles on so I can see what I'm doing. Hey! So, this is the actual interface itself. As you can see from the original one, it has changed quite a bit. On the original one, you could have two IRs, and you could flip the phase on those, which you can do with this, but this time you can have up to 4 IRs, which is pretty cool. I know some IR loaders you can have a lot more, some you can only have 1 or 2. I don't think you really need any more than 4. Sometimes I don't think you even really need any more than 2, but these IRs that are loaded up in it at this very moment are free ones that come with it, which is pretty cool. So you get 4 IRs to have a play about with. So you've got one from Warren Hertz, one from Alreyt Wild, one from Marlette, and one from Cameron Webb, which is all pretty cool. And you can switch them off and just play with one up to all 4. If you switch the auto align off, you can actually flip the phase. Starting at the top, you've got your input, your output, pulse, and you've got your Lancaster Audio and your Aurora DSP, and if you click those, it takes you to the websites. Oh, excuse you. And then you've got this button in the middle, or this dot in the middle here, so you can sort of have a blend of all of them. So you can have a blend of all of them if you've got it bang in the middle, or you can move this around to your desired sound. Right at the bottom here, you've got auto align. So if there's any phase issues, you can click that and it does stuff in the background, and it gets everything in phase, which will show that in another example with 2 totally different IRs from 2 totally different companies. And then once you've got an IR that you like, rather than keep messing about having to load it up every time and rejig everything, you can just export that and then reload it back in. And then right in the middle here, you've got this little EQ section, which you can expand. So if you want to have a bit of a low shelf, or a low mid cut in there, or a bit of a boost, or maybe just cut a bit of the nasty frequencies. And you've got a high shelf as well. And you can adjust the frequencies and the Q, which is the sort of bandwidth, if you will, if you're not used to what an EQ is. And then you can switch that on and off as you well please. And you can switch it off from there as well. And you can do it from the main screen. But obviously, you've not got any controls of... You don't get the fine controls. It's just wherever they've set it. Play through the guitar. I've got the guitar soloed up, or one guitar soloed up, should I say. I switched all the processing off on the bus so we can hear what the IRs are doing, what this is doing. So the amp sim that we're using is the ML Sounds Amp Burger. Beefy preset, but I have just tweaked it a little bit, and obviously, as you can see, I have switched the IR off. Only thing I've got going off on the pedal board is a bit of drive. So this is what it sounds like with the stock IRs that it comes with, and this is with all four of them on, and it's sort of roughly bang in the middle, I would say. Yeah, near enough there. So that's what all four of them sound like. If you think that sounds a bit beefy, let's switch that bass cab off. Yeah, I think you're losing a bit there with taking that cab off. So what you could do is just sort of move this button about. You just take a bit of that off, or let's bring it back in the middle again. Or perhaps have a bit of a shelf. And you just take a bit of those sort of low mids down. So they've set it at 400 hertz, which, yeah, I do find is round about that frequency where you do need to cut some of the mids out. They do tend to get a bit muddy, especially on IRs. General rule of thumb. It's not, this is the frequency. It's around about that sort of frequency. Different IRs will be slightly different, as with anything else. But just with that low cut, you just sort of tidying that low end up. Leave that on. And like I say, you can just switch them all off, or switch and just have one IR. And then you can introduce others as you please. And then with this button in the middle, you can sort of basically do the same thing. You can have a blend of all four, or just go for the one. And also for each IR, you've got high and low pass filters. So if you just wanted to, that's another way you could just sort of get that bit, just turn the low end a bit on that bass one. And you've got high pass filters as well. So that's what the stock ones sound like. So let's switch that one off. Let's go to this older one. And I've got two totally different IRs here on this one. We've got one from Bobby Torres from his Frightbox Octo Pack. And we've got one from Mr. Glenn Fricker. It's the Eagle Has Landed cab. So let's switch the auto line off. As you see, we're getting some quite sharp dips in the EQ there. So this is what they sound like without the auto align off. As you can hear, they're well out of phase. Now you can just flip the phase on one. That's still not sounding very good. So let's put the auto align on. There you go, so you can hear what that auto align is doing. And same again, you can have a mixture of the two, or you can move this about. Obviously, with only two IRs being in there, you can only flick between 1 and 2. You can't drop it down. That's with two IRs from two totally different companies, or two different sources, whatever you want to say. And as you can hear with that auto align, they do work well together. So the third example I've got here is the one that I used in the actual mix. And these are some from a company called DNA. And these are some Engel cabs. So let's switch these on. So I've got a D112 sort of close to the centre, and what's that one? No. What was that one? I think this is more sort of sweet spot, or sort of out to the edge of the cone. And like I say, if I thought, oh yeah, I want to use that in a different mix, or I want to save that to use in a different mix later on, all you do is export it and then press the export button. At this moment in time, I won't do that, but I might do that at some point, because I do actually quite like that tone. As you see, I have just taken some of the really extreme top end off on both of those, and both guitars together sound like this. So there you go. That was a quick look at Pulse 2 from Lancaster Audio at Aurora DSP. I take them off because I don't need them on now. What do I think about this thing? Does it get the Wizard seal of approval, or does it get the finger of doom? Well, from the Evil Wizard, it definitely gets the Wizard seal of approval. I've used the original Pulse R loader for absolutely donkey's years, and I've used a couple of others here and there as well. I think I've used the Nade IR, used Tone True Cabs, but Pulse is one of the ones I always sort of tend to come back to. It's just the original Pulse was a simple little IR loader, not too much fiddling about, just crack on and create some tones. And I think this new version, yeah, some stuff in there that you can tweak, but it's not so overwhelming that you can have up to 8 or however many IRs. You can have up to 4 IRs, and then once you've got your songs and your riffs written, you can just tweak it and just dial it in as you so wish. Forgot to say, it is free, which is even better. I say it's pretty simple to use, as was the original one. And let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments. I will leave a link to where you can get hold of this and try it out for yourselves. And if you want to grab yourself some Evil Wizard merch,
there's a link to the merch store down in the description.
But that's all from me, folks.
I will catch you in the next one.
Right folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can follow me on social media and you can get my music online, and if you want to support the channel, there's Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal links. They're all down in the description. Click up here to subscribe and click the link down there for videos that you may not have seen. Keep it loud and keep it heavy.